Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super. Both of the sequels to Dragon Ball Z are amazing in their own ways, but I'm not here to talk about how great they are. Today we're going to be breaking down the power of both of the series and discussing which one is more powerful. And today I'm saying that I denounce everything I said in that video. Well, almost. That video is my first one ever, and it's incredibly outdated, yet it's my most popular video. So I thought for my 500 subscriber special, I'd remake the video that started it all, but with better editing, scaling, better everything. Unlike the first video, I'm not going to start by scaling each individual character. Instead, I'm going to begin with a proper scale of the Dragon Ball multiverse that can be used to scale both later on into the video. Without further ado, let's begin. Now, people often misinterpret the cosmology. Some people tend to say that since it's called Universe 7, it must cap at Universal. And those people aren't stupid or anything, they just don't look deep enough into things. What if I told you that universal scale equivalates to one of the lowest, most minuscule constructs in the entire cosmology? It is stated countless times that the living world of Universe 7 is an infinite construct. People love to say that this is wrong due to this. Bulma states that there is a center of the universe and asks Jocko how to get it. Therefore, it must be finite, right? Let me tell you 3 reasons this is stupid. Number 1, not sure why Bulma would qualify as a source on the mechanics of the universe. She's a smart lady, but she makes spaceships and dragon radars. This is out of her territory. Number 2, Jocko literally calls her stupid in the same panel for asking that question, and follows up by stating that there's countless galaxies. Number 3, there can be a center of an infinite universe. Simple difference between the observable and unobservable part of a universe. So that cuts down their argument. The living world is objectively infinite. Moving on. The demon realm is said to be the other side of the same coin as the living universe, as it is a parallel version of it where magic has more sway than science. Being parallel to infinity makes it equal to infinity. Also, the living world, which encompasses both the living universe and the demon realm, is shown to have its own space-time continuum. So, bottom half of the cosmology is a 4th-dimensional space-time continuum with 2 infinite universes, making it 4th-dimensional low multiversal. That wraps up the bottom half of the cosmology. Let's move on to the top half, the afterlife. First of all, the entire afterlife is dimensionally transcendental of the living world. There are 3 main realms that reside within the afterlife: Hell, Enma's realm, and Heaven. These 3 realms actually exist in a hierarchy, each being above the last in that order. Hell is within the afterlife, therefore it has 5th dimensional existence. Enma's realm is above that, making it 6th dimensional, and Heaven is above that, making it 7th dimensional. Now, that's big, but there's one more thing. There's the Kaioshin realm, which orbits around the entire macrocosm, and is stated to be 1/10 the size of it. And everyone knows infinity divided by 10 is still just infinity, so we have confirmed infinite size for that realm. You may be saying that it's high universal fodder, and no! The Kaioshin realm looks down on the entire macrocosm in the same way that the other world looks down on the living world, implying that it transcends it in the same manner. This would make the Kaioshin realm and the entire Dragon Ball macrocosm an 8th dimensional construct. Now, to quote my past self, let's go in chronological order and start with the one that came first. Dragon Ball GT. The first scan that I have for GT is this. Goku got trapped in a place called Sugoroku Space. He then charges up a Kamehameha and escapes by straight up shattering the entire dimension. There's nothing confirmed about how big this realm is, but one could argue that it is implied to be infinite. Take a look at this. So GT Goku could be argued high universal for that one, but it doesn't really matter because he has better feats. Here, Goku gets trapped in Hell along with his former enemies Frieza and Cell. He immediately began charging up for a fight, and in doing so, shook both Hell and Enma's realm in base form. As we previously established, Hell is 5th dimensional and Enma's realm is 6th dimensional, making Goku 6th dimensional here. So, little known fact, some of the Dragon Ball Z movies are canon to GT. These would be the Cooler movies and the Fusion Reborn movie. This is proven in the following scans. In this first one, Cooler straight up appears in GT, so that settles that. And here, Vegeta references Fusion to Goku, saying that they should do it. At this point in time, there was not a single Potara earring existing within their dimensional plane, even. This would imply that Vegeta knew of the Metamorph Fusion and even knew the dance so well that he could do it right then and there. And we all know they turned into Gogeta right after that. So that confirms the events of Fusion Reborn canon as well. This is further backed up by Cooler being on the cover for Fusion Reborn. It's its own little continuity. Whether this was intentional or not, it adds up, so it's valid enough for me. In this scan, Goku powers up to Super Saiyan 3 against Janemba, and in doing so, he shakes the entirety of the afterlife. That can bring GT Goku to 7th dimensional scale. And lastly, for his power, here's a scan that I previously believed to be invalid. Omega Shenron states that he will lay waste to the whole universe with his minus power. One might chime in and say that he could be referring to the living universe, but Elder Kai states that the power would reach the Kaioshin realm and that the Kais would not be spared. This would mean that Omega Shenron is 8th dimensional and Goku scales to him, making GT Goku 8th dimensional as well. People tend to bust out this to try to debunk, and here, Elder Kai basically explains how it's an overtime feat. And yeah, it is, but contrary to my former belief, as long as Omega Shenron's power crosses these dimensional borders and eventually takes out the 8th dimensional construct, that puts him on that level. Slight problem though, that would be his absolute maximum power. Omega states that this power is made up of the heavily condensed minus energy of the Dragon Balls, as well as the hatred of the evil dragons. He had to not only use all of his own power, but all of the other dragons' power, and all of the power of the minus energy and the Dragon Balls to complete this. Doesn't change the idea of 8th dimensional GT Goku though, just a thought. Lastly, let's talk about speed. In the Cooler movie, Goku and Cooler are shown to be able to move and react to each other inside an instant transmission. And everyone knows instant transmission is instantaneous, it's in the name. Moving any distance in 0 time would bring GT Goku to inaccessible speed. So, GT Goku is 8th dimensional with inaccessible speed. Impressive, but can Super Goku win? Let's take a look at it. Physical strength and destructive capacity. In the Battle of God's Arc of Dragon Ball Super, Goku clashed fists with Beerus, and Elder Kai made a statement that sums up Goku's strength. Elder Kai states, "If these two clash against each other like this a few more times, people, planets, gods like us, even Beerus and Goku will be completely destroyed. There will be nothing left in the universe. It will turn to a vacuum made of nothingness." This means Goku was able to threaten the entirety of the Universe 7 macrocosm, and one cannot argue that this was only in relation to the living world, as Elder Kai explicitly states gods like us when he was referring to what would be destroyed. This would mean the shockwaves from a few punches of Goku and Beerus could literally obliterate an 8th dimensional construct. Their clash was incredibly damaging, and planets around the living universe began to fade away. Luckily, Goku quickly caught on to this and began punching at a perfect angle at which the power could be concentrated in a more controlled manner. So Super Goku was 8th dimensional on accident. Cool. Now, what makes this more insane is that this 8th dimensional power isn't even exclusive to the God forms. Here, Goku is shown to absorb the power of the Super Saiyan God, so he can use it without transforming. Beerus states that the power has fused with his very being. Now for speed. In the Tournament of Power, Jiren is stated by Vados to be transcendental of time itself, and Goku was able to match that speed and even go beyond it. That is immeasurable speed. Super Goku would get to 8th dimensional with immeasurable speed. But he's also got some really nice hacks to help him out here. First of all, existence erasure hacks. Here he is shown preparing a Hakai attack to Zamasu's face, so that's a thing. Not only does he have this ability, he has resistance to it as well. He has survived a Hakai from Frieza before. For relevant stuff, that's about it. Now that everything's covered, let's give final thoughts and debunk some arguments. So, GT and Super Goku definitely exist on the same dimensional tier, both 8th dimensional, but there's a big difference between the two. GT's 8th dimensional feat required all of the power of the main villain and more. Super's 8th dimensional feat required a few punches. It was very close to being a passive feat. Not only that, Goku proceeds to absorb the power in question into his base form and get like 20 bajillion transformations after that just make him insanely stronger than he already is. GT Goku's strongest feat is Super Goku's warm-up, the warm-up to his warm-up. So GT Goku gets absolutely outclassed in that regard. And do I even need to talk about speed? I guess I'll take some of you back to school real quick. GT Goku can move instantaneously, or in no time. That's cool and all, but Super Goku completely transcends the time that GT Goku is performing these feats in. So GT Goku gets completely outclassed in every regard. Now to debunk some GT fans. GT fans are going to be screaming in my comments about the 100-year time skip end of Z Goku. And there's one word that obliterates your entire perception of him. Feetless. People will try to say he absorbed the Dragon Balls. No, he didn't. Like, yeah, there's a little cinematic of the Dragon Balls going inside his body, but the nature of this scene isn't confirmed. Also, the notion of him absorbing them is debunked by the series itself. In the Dragon Ball GT TV special, that's a mouthful, which takes place way after, Goku's descendant is shown holding the 4-star Dragon Ball. It's in his hands. Goku is shown holding the 4-star ball. Did he still absorb them? Tell me all about it. Also, it was confirmed by a writer of the anime that Goku straight up died in that Shenron scene. So, what happened? From what I gather, Goku died, and as confirmed in that screenshot, he didn't go to Otherworld. He rather went to Shenron's place, wherever that's supposed to be. Goku trained? Yeah. Goku trained relentlessly. Yeah, it's Goku, of course he did. But the problem is he's still feetless. Until I get some kind of statement saying he got significantly stronger to a point where I can tier him any higher, which will never happen, he will remain 8th dimensional. Before I end the video, there's one more segment that needs to be done. There's 2 types of scaling for Dragon Ball. There's the regular power scaling I normally cover, but then there's multiplier scaling. Dragon Ball has been using power levels and multipliers for like 30 or 40 years, so let's see how this can be applied to modern Dragon Ball. Today I have Okara coming on the channel to tackle the forms. Which Goku has better transformations?
Hello guys, Okara here, and I got a new mic, but I wish I had it a month ago. Now I know Dragon Ball power scaling has a few things that people are on edge with, like multipliers and which character beats which character, but this time I'm going to go over forms to explain which forms are superior, either GTs or Supers. Everything I'm about to say is 100% fact and 100% correct, regardless of the multipliers you make up for Super Saiyan 4 or Super Saiyan God. Alright, so let's get started. In the guide statement, referring to Super Saiyan Vegeta, it is stated that Super Saiyan Vegeta is perhaps stronger than Super Saiyan 4. This can either be interpreted by Multiplier or Super Saiyan Vegeta in the Buu Saga is stronger than Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the Baby Saga. If it's referring to the latter, it would give Super Saiyan Vegeta in Multiplier a much wider gap over Super Saiyan 4. However, if it's referring to the Multiplier, the gap would be much smaller, to the point of being insignificant. Regardless, Super Saiyan Vegeta would be at bare minimum comparable to Super Saiyan 4. Now for Super Saiyan God. In Goku's first fight against Beerus, he stated that even fusion with Vegeta wouldn't stand a chance against Beerus. Considering Vegeta is the only canon fusion of Goku and Vegeta by that point, and Goku knows how powerful the Potara is, Super Saiyan Vegeta would get stomped by suppressed Beerus. If we use a higher end, this would include Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, as it should be possible for Vegeta to use the Fusee's forms. After the Super Saiyan God ritual failed, Super Saiyan Goku was stated to surpass anything seen before by Gohan. This would mean failed ritual Super Saiyan would stomp Super Saiyan 4 levels of power. But we are still not done. When Goku first became a Super Saiyan God, he believed he definitely couldn't lose against Beerus, and he couldn't even control his body. Super Saiyan God Goku, without control of his own body, was sure that he would not lose against Beerus, meaning he should stomp levels of stomping Super Saiyan Vegeta. This would result in a low-ball Super Saiyan God to stomp Super Saiyan 4 twice over. With the high end, which includes Super Saiyan 3 and what I said before, Super Saiyan God would have the power to stomp Super Saiyan 4 times over. To compare, this would be stomping Super Saiyan 4 fusion levels of power, with both the low end and the high end. And this is just Super Saiyan God. We haven't included Blue, Kaioken, or even, Ultra Instinct. As you see, Dragon Ball Super is just on another level in comparison to GT when it comes to power scaling. Thank you for having me on here, Saiyaman. Alright, see ya.
Thank you, Okara, for being on here, and of course, as I suspected, it literally doesn't matter how you scale them. It's an absolute overkill Goku win no matter which way you look at it. In conclusion, I love both series. I do. But as we've always known, Super Goku takes the win every time. Bye.
Thank you for watching this almost perfect video.
Can you drop the ego for 1 second?
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And hit the notification bell for future updates. Or else. Ha ha ha!